Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof.
How's everybody doing today? It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. I'm very excited about today's show because we got a very inspiring young woman in the building, all about positivity and love. She's a life coach and more. I'm excited to have her on the show. So without any further ado, let's welcome her to the stage. She goes by the name of LaQuania, but y'all can call her Q tonight. I think it's all right if we call her Q. How you
Yes.
feeling?
Yes, please do. Please do. First, I want to give it back to you. Thank you so much for using your platform for so much positivity and, just giving everybody a voice to tell their story, and just talk about what they're doing. So I did want to give you kudos and thank you so much for having me on your platform today.
I'm definitely excited about it. Black excellence in the building. I understand, it's been a journey for you, though. For the people
It has been. I'm from, again, everyone calls me Q. My name is LaQuania. I'm born and raised in the Washington, D.C. area. And I've been through a lot. It took me through a lot to get to where I am today. And the purpose of my brand, which is called Love Story Wellness, Love Story Candle and Body, is just to inspire and spread positivity and love for people who've been through like childhood trauma, people going through mental health issues, people going through anxiety, or any type of problems that they experience. Because me, at the age of like 2 or 3, my father was actually murdered on the Washington, D.C. streets. And what's pivotal about that is that he was actually murdered by my mom's boyfriend. So just that alone, with domestic violence and everything that's going on these streets now, especially in the Washington, D.C. area, I definitely think it's time for me to tell my story and what I've been through.
Right. And that's real right there. You said at the age of 2 or 3 to go through something so traumatic like that. I'm pretty sure it has some effects, and there's a lot of questions you still to this day probably ask. So
absolutely. And that actually inspired me, into doing this whole thing. I actually lost my mom back in 2017. And my mom, when she passed away, she was only 53 years old.
Right.
So it's just a whole lot. So at that particular point, it really made me look back on my life and look back at, all the experiences and everything that I've had. And once I started talking to people was like, hold on, you've been through a lot.
Right.
You have been through a lot. So it really made me actually stop, self-reflect, go through a whole self-love journey, go through a whole journey of really taking my health and everything seriously. I used to smoke cigarettes. I was actually almost 200 pounds And I lost a lot of weight, just
Right.
doing the work, just doing the work, cleaning myself out inside, as well as, just taking care of my mental health, because people overlook mental health. When people think
Right.
about healthy, they think about eating. Like, they don't think about mental health, what's going on in the inside of you that makes you, pick up all of these negative behaviors. So I did the work, and I went to, that's what my brain is about, inspiring people to do the work.
Inspiring them to do the work. So let me ask you, right? Because now you're doing the work, but it's like you've been through a lot, right? What was that process transition like? Because I'm pretty sure it didn't happen overnight. It's
No,
like, right.
yeah. My bad. I don't mean to keep cutting you
No,
off,
you
but
good. You fine. You fine. Nah, you fine.
it's been quite a journey. Again, like I said, I lost my mom. Well, let me go back to, again, like, my dad, he was murdered on the Washington DC streets at the age of 2 or 3. My mom went through a bad, extensive, even though we were very close and we went through a transformation, and she had her period when she was clean. But through my youth, she was on drugs, especially like in the 80s and the 90s,
Right.
when crack cocaine really hit hard. So
Right.
I had to go through that, my mom being on drugs, I had to go through my great grandmother raising me, so me being separated from that. So me losing a dad, and then in
Right.
my mind, I'm losing a mom too. As a kid, you don't see that, okay, if a person using drugs or they doing this and they doing that, that's why they don't. You get what I'm saying? They're not around. You just want to be with
With
your
them.
parents, even though it's not good for you.
Right.
So, that contributed, to a lot of negative thinking, a lot of me thinking, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of this because, my dad left me, my mom left me, my grandmother. Here I see all these other kids that have their mom and dad in the household. Again, that goes back to mental health, and people don't understand how it shows up as an adult, because we as Black people, we're taught to be strong.
Right.
We're taught not to cry. We're taught not to, if you crying, especially as a boy or something like that, be quiet, don't share, don't tell, don't this. But no, you have to express yourself. You have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And that really took a toll on me. So fast forward to 2017, when I lost my mom, it really, everything just went blank, and it really made me stop in silence to really self-reflect on myself. And I enjoyed the journey. I enjoyed where I'm at. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe someone else needs to, know that they can talk to someone, that you have a listening ear, that someone else can relate to your story and these feelings and stuff that you have, especially with mental health.
Wow. And that's real right there. When we talk about mental health, a lot of people deal with traumas, and it's like we become desensitized and we normalize it. We thinking it's normal, but it's like till we start talking to other people and we realize it's really not that normal. But the thing that we do have in common is a lot of us was traumatized. We went through some
Exactly.
things that we never dealt with, or like we had to figure it out on our own because there's no blueprint with it. So let's talk about the love story, because you took these traumas and you took this pain and you turned it around for a positive. So let's talk about love story and what inspired it.
Yes, again, love story. I first came up with love story candles. Again, me now looking back, once again, I start seeking help for these feelings and everything that I have, the depression and everything that I went through.
Right.
I needed some type of avenue to really, like, calm my nerves and things of that nature. So what I did was, and then also another pivotal point is when we went through the government shutdown.
Right.
And, a lot of people, especially working for the federal government, some people live in paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
So,
Get tight.
to have that money cut off like that, you also have to turn your pain into purpose. And that's what I came up with. I
Right.
was like, okay, let me see what I can do to open up some additional streams of income here, or whatever. Let me invest in myself, because us as Black people, what we don't do is pass down stuff to generational. Like we're starting back here,
Right.
when everyone else has a head start. So, just a bit of both, me working on myself, my anxiety to calm me down and trying to change, change my pain into purpose. I came up with making my handmade candles.
Wow.
Yes, that's my brand, love story.
Right.
Everyone has a love story, no matter what it is. Like the name of this one is Hugs and Kisses. I don't know if you can see the color scheme. I make my labels, I make everything handmade. You can also use it as like a massage candle as well. It comes in both sizes, 8 ounces, as well as 4 ounce. Like with this one, the name of this one is Saturday Morning Cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoon, so it makes you feel back like when you was a kid again.
Yes, it smells so good. And I'm not just saying that because I made it,
Right.
If you smell it, I'm sure you'll say the same thing. But each one of my candles, like I have one called Self Love. Each one of my candles has its own unique story. I also make shea butter as well. Again, everything natural, everything wax melts. I'm actually expanding to soaps as well. Just everything wellness.
Wow.
So that's that portion.
Right.
But again, I don't know if you remember, but I told you I almost lost 30 pounds. So I was almost 200 pounds. So now I am snatched, trying to get my hot girl summer on.
Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So I have additional health and wellness products as well. I don't know if you detox or if anyone out there looking at this podcast is interested in teaming up with me and my love story journey, or just want to make some additional income while getting fit and fabulous. We also have detox tea. I have liquid vitamin available. I have energy pills. I have the works. I'm the go-to. Anything health and wellness. If you want to look good, you want to smell good, holler at your girl, okay?
And that's the thing. So it's like, okay, you got a lot going on. You're doing a lot of things. So let me ask you, how did you first get into this?
Again, like I said, like I said, I wanted to turn my pain into purpose. So I started making my handmade stuff. And then while I was at that particular event, I'm like, okay, it's been a minute, I suffer from, IBS, which means I don't go regularly. And again, I don't know if people know, like that big bloat. Females, we don't want to have that big bloat right there in front of us. So I was actually at one event, and I love to support my Black vendors. And I went to her table, and she was just telling me about this nice plant-based product that she had, and how good it was and what it did for her. I was like, okay, well, I don't really believe in putting outside sources, but I'm gonna support you, sis. And you told me what results you had. So I actually purchased this product from her. And when I tell you, I took it and I lost like 5 pounds in 5 days. I was immediately calling her back, like, hold on, what's going on? I didn't know how much stuff that I actually had in the inside. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know. So once I did that and pretty much took the product, saw for myself the results and stuff that I had, I actually partnered with her. And it's history since then, so pretty much spread the word. If you check out my Instagram, you'll see we go from state to state, just advocating for our products, advocating on generational wealth. Again, I went through that government shutdown, and when they cut my income off, I was scrambling. Like, people don't know, some people like one check away from being homeless.
That's facts.
You get what I'm saying? And especially if the government shutdown didn't show you, then actually this whole pandemic. So you got to have another, stream of income. So that's definitely, that's when I got introduced into the network marketing industry. And a lot of people say, oh, it's a scam. No, it's not. It's actually $1 trillion industry. So partnering with my sisters, like we all, we uplift each other. And it's about expanding your own brand. So it's not only about the health and wellness product, but what do you want to do as a person? What are you going to leave down, to your generation, to your kids, to your loved ones? What are you going to do?
Right. I definitely understand that. And it's definitely, you can see that you definitely a change all about you. It's definitely, you can see the peace on you. So let me ask you, right, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give yourself when you were 16 years old? So
when I was 16?
What advice would you give yourself?
Pretty much, you are not alone. It's more people going through this than you know. Speak up, my sister. Speak up. Tell someone you need help. Because again, when you're young and you're going through a whole lot, like it got so bad. And I know, we touch lightly on it, but it got so bad. Like when I was raising, when I lived with my mom, because it went to a point in time, like when I got to maybe about 15, 16, I ended up being able to go back and live with my mom. But her drug addiction got so bad that she actually left me with my little siblings, to the point that I had to kind of like drop out of high school to take care of them, So I did turn it around, yes, I do have my bachelor's degree. I didn't let that deter me, but some people, they don't have that push, or they don't have the people in their corner who can push them to do better. They'll let that, like, oh, this is all I see around me. Like, no, I want more, and I want to be that voice. Like, really, like, people don't understand how mental health really affects you, or the things that you do as an adult, how it affects our children. And, again, that's what I'm advocating. So back to your question, when I was 16, look, you're not alone. Ask for help. I wish I would have spoke up too, because I suffered in silence for a long time. Right. Like, I'm using your platform really to be a voice. Normally I'm quiet and I'm behind the scenes. Right. So I really do appreciate you, just letting me share this, because this is self-development for me too, just sharing and letting people actually hear it, because that takes a lot of courage. Right. That takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot of courage, and it's definitely you're making a difference. And it's like, when you talk about the traumas and things that people go through, you said a powerful thing. A lot of times we suffer in silence. We feeling like, who can we tell, or who can we talk to? Nobody understand what I'm going through. So we shut down. So it's like we go through life, and it's like we don't always make the right decisions because we got so much going on.
Exactly.
We may not know how to express it. We may be irritable. It may be different ways, but it's like it's a reason behind it. A lot of times in our community, we look at people and we write them off. Like, they got this.
Exactly.
We don't know the reason behind what they're going through. So even with the traumas that you went through as a child, not being able to express that, how did it affect you back then? Like growing up, being social, like you said, you were more introverted. It affected
me because, again, I'm always quiet. Right. And sometimes when you're around a lot of people, you might give off a nervous energy, and people don't know where it's coming from. Right. Because I want to be quiet. If I'm out of sight, out of mind, people won't ask me questions. Wow. You get what I'm saying? People won't say anything. People won't, if I'm just listening to everybody else's story. And I knew something was wrong, because one time I had actually, and it affects you in relationships too, because actually I went on a date and the guy was like, yeah, I see you really don't ask like a lot of questions and stuff like that. Right. And, that just made me self-reflect, like, dang, well, I don't ask a lot of questions. Maybe I'm not asking questions because I don't want people to ask me questions. You get what I'm saying? To reveal themselves. And then I forgot what's his name, RC something. I think he's on YouTube. Right. And he said, do you know who I'm talking about?
He's a speaker, right? He's like a motivation speaker.
Yeah. I was listening to one of his YouTube shows, and he said, he was like, yeah, just talking about dating, advice or whatever, because I am in my single season.
Right now.
But, he said, he was like, yeah, if you on a date and a person really doesn't ask questions, it's either A, they're hiding something, or B, it's a lot of trauma there. And I was like, wow, that kind of made me go with me like, dang, it's a lot of trauma there, because you don't want to, you want to be quiet. Like when people talking about when they went to prom, when they went and they was in their college dorms and stuff like that, and you don't have no stories to tell, it's intimidating. Right. It's intimidating. So you got to go through that self-love journey to know the stuff I've been through. Like, I can't control my mother being on drugs. I can't control her leaving me and me having to fend for, my younger siblings and things like that. I can't, stuff like that I couldn't control, so I have to own that. Yes, that's a part of my story, but that's not the end of my story. Wow. That's real. Love story. Everyone has a love story, no matter what it is. Whatever your love story journey is, it could be, about weight loss. It could be, about self-love. It could be about marriage. It could be about your kids. Everyone has some type of love story. That's why that is so pivotal to me. Like, I got hearts here, hearts here, hearts here. Like, I'm just about love and positivity. So
I definitely understand that. So let's talk about that, because that happens a lot, right? When we talk about addictions and stuff like that, how it affects the family, right? It could be, in your instance, it was your mom. Sometimes it could be the father. It could be different situations where people grow up with drugs.
Mom and grandma. Right. So that's why I guess I don't do drugs, because it's a generational thing. People could take that And people can actually take that, and some people fall to it, like, oh, it runs in my family, so I'm going to do it too. With me, I don't do drugs because I see how it affected, my great grandma. Like, I went for my great grandmother. She, not my great grandma, my great grandmother raised me. Now, not my grandmother, now my great grandmother. So you see how it goes deep. My great grandmother raised me. But my grandmother, she did prison sentence. She did a prison sentence for robbing a bank. Like,
right. Life get real. Life gets real. Life gets really real.
yes. So a lot of trauma there, and I'm just giving you bits and pieces as it's coming to aha moments and stuff.
Right, and I definitely understand. And then, like you said, you had to become a woman earlier than you were supposed to. So it's like now you got responsibilities. It's almost like, you're a mom. You're taking care of your brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So you got to not only try to figure it out for yourself, you got other people depending on you. Whereas, like, a lot of women, young moms, they may get pregnant early. He told me he loved me. He said he'll never leave. And now, she's stuck with the baby now, raising them on her own. Family, like, you wanted to be a woman, but that's not the situation for you.
No,
your mom is not there. You got your brothers, your loved ones there. So it's like you step up to the plate. How did that affect you, and what things did you learn?
Pretty much I learned that I really got matured soon, earlier than, I guess, for my age. I matured faster.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Even now, I just thinking back, people like, dang, you act a little older. Like when people was having fun and stuff like that, I'm worrying about, what my brothers and sisters gonna eat.
Right.
So that it affected me too, because I didn't want to have children. I still don't have children right now. Now I'm in a different place in my life. Right. But because I went there, for a long time, I didn't want kids. Because now that you said that, I was doing the mom thing, at such a young age. Right. Like literally, like people don't understand how you feel, your mom just disappeared. And then, like I said, my mom was, she went through the crack cocaine era, and then it escalated to heroin. Wow. Right. So, and I remember at around this time, actually I probably was a little younger than that. I think I probably was like 14 when she disappeared. But I remember sitting there writing a letter on her, letting her know how I felt about her doing, when I found out she was doing that drug. I was like, Dad, you doing this drug? Now you doing this drug. This is a whole different thing. I remember telling her that at 14, like how bad comparing drugs. Right. Like I shouldn't be talking about that at 14. Now, me being seasoned in my 30s, right. You can look back at a 12 or 13-year-old, like they shouldn't be thinking about stuff like that. Let them enjoy being children. Let them enjoy things, when you should be worrying about, other stuff, not, adult things at that particular age. So that kind of affected me. But again, me going through this self-love journey, that stuff does not define me. Right. It's my story, and I want to tell it and inspire people, and do the work. People also look at therapy as a bad thing. Oh, she's going to therapy. No, you need to have someone, even if it's a life coach, even if it's, a social worker, if it's a psychiatrist, if you need medication, whatever you need, to be the best person that you can be. Because especially if you do have kids, how can you show up for them if you can't show up for yourself?
If you can't show up for yourself. And you just said a real thing. You said, even with the heroin and stuff like that, a lot of kids nowadays, right? You hear it in the music all the time. The Percocets, Oxys, the Xanax, opiate drugs and stuff like that. This heavy stuff, right? So they listen to the music. They even have things where they have these Skittle parties. Where they just take all the pills out the medicine cabinet, put them in bowls.
Oh, wow.
And then, back in the day, you had house party and stuff like that. The worst thing that might happen is a fight. Somebody might get stabbed back in the day. It's not like that now. These kids, they turning up, they going all the way to the max, but they're dealing with heavy drugs and stuff like that. So growing up, being around that, seeing that firsthand, right? You know how it made you feel. They don't see the dangers. These young kids, they don't see the dangers. And they're thinking, I'm in control. I'm just having fun.
And it's scary. It's very scary, especially with fentanyl. You know, it's very deadly. You seeing young people dying from drug overdoses and, you know, and things of that nature. Like, it's not cool. When you have the blind leading the blind, or if you have, you know, somebody who was born out of brokenness, you know, trying to teach someone that they had, you know, it's a disconnect. So therefore, we need people that's advocating for them. You know, we need people who's going to step in for our youth, for our children, because it starts there. You know, and if it's past the children's stage, like, what can you do as an adult to better yourself? You know, I can speak from a child voice because I've came there. You know, people can't relate to that. You know, I'm showing you a different side. You know, I'm showing that you can be successful. I'm showing that you can start your own brand. I'm showing, you know, that it is a way out of there. Don't blame yourself, because a kid, that's all they see. If they don't have a voice, you're their voice. And if their voice is broken, then what?
Wow. Just said a powerful thing again. And then, like you said, even with you, right? It's like, it's interesting when you said that. You said raising your kids, raising your brothers and sisters at a young age made you not want to have children. Where in some incidences, is the child feels like, I've been raising kids, I might as well have my own. The
That's
double
true.
dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
it definitely shows up differently. It definitely shows up differently in, you know, in different people. So I can definitely say that. And I really didn't think about it until afterwards, though. You know, again, once you do that, you go through that self-reflective stage. Like I said, when I really went through that self-reflective stage, like, okay, you know, why does my life look like this? Why was I moving this way? You know, when you're in it, you really don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's about being conscious and making, you know, a decision to do the work, and having someone to support you while you're doing the work, who's listening and that's non-judgmental. Because a lot of, especially when you're dealing with women, you know, women like to use your pain against you. You know, I'm your friend, I'm your listening ear. You know, then when you make me mad, I want to go ahead and, you know, and use that against you. And we don't want to do that. You know, we want to uplift each other, because you say something important. Like, you never know what a person's story is. That's why I judge no one. You know, like, ooh, look at this person. They stink, they this and that. Yeah, what if they didn't have a parent who took the time to show them how to wash properly? You know, now don't get it twisted. I do know that you got to be held accountable for your actions. You got to want to do the work. But, you know, sometimes you have to, you know, be empathetic, and, you know, you have to listen, and, you know, you have to listen without judgment. And I just want to be relatable, because it's one thing talking to someone who never been to the DC streets, or who never been on the streets. You know, I've been there, both sides.
Wow. For the people that may have never been, let's break that down real quick. Then we're going to get on to the journey of the weight loss. But real quick, before we get to that, right? Because we're talking about DC, right? We're not talking about, just a walk in the park.
Exactly.
It could happen in a minute. So it's like, being there firsthand for the people that's listening or watching that may have never been. Let's talk about some of the dangers and what was that like growing up in that time.
that was a lot. Like, I've seen, you know, murders in DC. You know, I've seen, again, you know, my father was taken away from me. I didn't have it. Luckily, you know, by the grace of God, he still blessed me with being in my father's family life. Like, we didn't skip a beat there, you know, like my aunts, cousins, and things of that nature. Like, you know, normally, you know, you might lose the child, and then the family will go here and see them here and there. Like, no, it's like we're intertwined. So I didn't skip a beat there, luckily, by the grace of God. But, you know, showing up, like, I lost my father on the DC streets, you know, murder, and this violence is terrible. Like, this weekend, you know, 3-4 shootings at one time, 5 shootings, 3 dead. Like, it's getting out of hand. This is scary. Our kids have to walk these streets. 8-year-old getting shot in PG County. You know, one child, 10-year-olds going to the ice cream truck. Like, this is sad. I have a nephew that's 9 years old. This is it. We need all hands on deck at this point. We need all hands on deck. And again, like I said, I can relate to growing up. You know, I can relate to, you know, even another pivotal point. Again, my great grandmother raised me. One time I used to go see my mother here and there. One time I just popped up, showed up, and her stuff was set outside. Imagine how I felt not knowing where my mother was at this point. You know, I'm just starting to be, you know, come around, and you go up to try to find your mom, you know, to the last location. You know, she lit her apartment, and all her stuff set outside. And this way back when I don't think we might have had cell phone. This probably was at the end of when you had like phone booths outside. So she ain't had no cell phone. I could call like, hey mom, where you at? What happened? So I've been in these streets. Right. Now, I might work for a federal government agency, but, I want to make my voice be heard and help and rehabilitate some people going through the criminal justice system as well. I have siblings who's going through that, prison. Right. So I'm here on both sides, the rehabilitation side, but I'm not just coming to you by me not experiencing all of this stuff. So with me, I should be able to connect with you. We're here. Right. I've been through what you've been through. Wow. So and that good. Love story, let's get to the love story. Let's dig deep. Let's expose.
Let's expose and get deep. And I like that because it's needed right there because like you said, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Like we got cops killing us. We got pandemics going on. We killing each other.
It's a lot. They say this the year of the savages.
And that's how it's been. And it's only going to get worse from here. So it's like, to see that, right? To grow up in that. To make a change. Where it's like on paper, people might say, nah, they count you out. Like that is never going to happen. It's too late. You turned it around. You said, you know what? I'm not going out like that. It's like, you said you had that moment. It's like, this is not the end of my story. You wind up going back to get your bachelor's degree.
Yes, I did. I did. All of this happened like full circle, like I just feel like everything happened to me like full circle. And I'm just so, proud of where I am now. And me doing the work and even talking about this, like people would be surprised right now. Like people see my transformation and, they're just like, wow, Q, I really see like you're changing. Like people that really know me. Like this isn't me 5 years ago. Wow. I'm telling you, this is not me 5 years ago. And I'm just so happy that I'm doing the work. And, I want to help others do the work. It's always in me because everybody always came to me because I was always a listener. Again, me want to be quiet. You gain that listening skill. So I was always there. And I'm a Scorpio. So I'm going to take your secret to the grave. I'm going to take the secret to the grave. Right. But anyway, so it was always in me. But sometimes it takes, trauma. And again, losing my mother at such a young age, right? At her age. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, okay, at this point, like, wow, 50, that's young.
That's young. That's real young.
Right?
That's real young right there. So you said you made a conscious decision. And you went on a weight loss journey, but not only did you go on the weight loss, you changed your mind frame, mindset.
Purged everything.
Stop smoking cigarettes, start eating better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. What was that like? Because I know, anything is change is hard.
It is hard. It's hard. It's hard to do the work. Right. It's hard to do the work, especially when you have people, on the outside who don't want. It's fine with you being the way you are. It's fine with you being a people pleaser. Right. It's fine when you're not putting up standards. It's fine when you're not showing up for yourself and you just, yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Right. It's fine when you're not, when people calling you and you putting everybody else's needs before your own, right. It's fine. But people don't like that transformation when you set boundaries. Right. People don't like when you want to make sure your cup full and anything other than that I can offer. Right. People don't know. As long as you saying yes, it's fine. But when you putting them boundaries up, it's something different. So that's another thing, you have to go through and you have to prepare for. Right. You have to show up and you have to advocate for yourself. Again, when you're a child and you don't have a voice, me losing my dad, right. Me not being with my mom, literally, I remember one time my grandmother and my mother take one had one arm, one had this arm. But now I understand, I understand my great grandmother didn't want me in that environment with the drug use and stuff like that. Like I saw, I saw people at her house with the spoon and the fire, and this one, I'm only like maybe 5 or 6 years old. Like, you don't know, but I had to piece all this stuff together. And again, I had to do the work. Right. But I don't know. I was going somewhere with it. I forgot what the question was.
It's all good. It's all good because the thing is, like you said, it's like, you go through it. It's like danger's right there. But at that age, we just looking at our loved one. We're looking at, it could be, like you said, it could be your lover, it could be your mother, your father, whoever. You're looking at it like, I just want to be around my mom. Danger's
Exactly.
right there. Death right around there. It's like one wrong move. It's like, yeah, you could just get into it. Like, what is this? You thinking it's a toy. You know how kids put stuff in their mouth. Anything. The grace of God.
Yes.
You know, still blessed you. So it's like being even in danger, you were still safe. But a
Yes.
great grandmother is saying, okay, nah, because I'm not worried about hurting your feelings. I'm worried about this child's safety.
Being that voice. And that's why it's in me, because she was my voice. Like literally, like I don't know where I would be, if it wasn't for her.
Right.
I really don't know where I would be if it wasn't for my great grandma. Would I have seen? Because if I seen as much, without her, I mean, if I seen much before, I was with my mom and I seen stuff afterwards, when I went back with her again, like I said, she had me all through, like elementary and junior high, but when it got to like high school, that's when I kind of went back. I guess I was a little old. I can push back a little bit more. And again, I want to be with my mother, even though I don't know that this ain't right. So back when I did that, like she saved me from seeing. So imagine what I would have had saw doing what else I would have saw. Right. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm just giving you bits and pieces. Like I still have more stuff that I could share, so this is just the surface. So that's just crazy. If that's just the surface, right. So real. But again, I am definitely blessed. I'm in a positive place right now. I did the work and it feels good. It feels good, and I want to share it. I want to share what I learned. I'm one of them people who, if I'm doing good, I'm rooting for you, sis. No competition. Right. No competition here. Wow. Collaboration. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's bring it together. Let's all work together. Let's all win together.
Exactly.
Okay, so you say you lost the 30 pounds, right?
Yes, I did.
All right,
yes,
so
I did.
Let's talk about that. I ain't mad at you. You say you got your new attitude and you're back out there on the market now.
You said, D'Angelo, can you give me a bottle of water, please? Okay. Have my nephew here. That's one of my. Look, ain't nobody tell him to poke his head. But say, hey, this my munchkin. He don't want like what I call him that. But can you give me a bottle of water, please? Thank you. But yes, just by again, like I told you when I was doing my thing with my products, again, make sure you go ahead and get you a love story candle. It comes in this nice burlap bag. Wow. So you can save that. Is it any in the refrigerator? No, it's one. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so anyway, back to the weight loss. I'm sorry, staying on topic. I was at this event with my products and this beautiful, my coach, my wellness coach, and I've learned so much from her. But I brought this particular product from her. And mind you, I only brought a 5-day sample. And when I took this, I actually lost 5 pounds in 5 days. So that made me call her and like, okay, I need some more of this. Right. So once I started doing that, I just made sure I stayed on my regimen, made sure I was consistent, and I lost the weight. Of course, in conjunction with me walking, doing my exercise, hitting the gym, things of that nature, me meditating as well. So I did start with these products. It's a Black-owned company as well, which is something that I love. And our CEO and founder, he actually was making millions and millions of dollars, and he knew the importance of sharing generational wealth. Right. And having people start their own businesses. So definitely I'm a franchise owner at Tava Lifestyle, which is the products that I take regularly. So a person can actually join me in business, or if you just want to get healthy, you can definitely do that as well.
Right. No problem. And for that right there, if they want to get, and it's called Tava?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right, so if they wanted to get involved with that, can you give them a breakdown real quick? And how can they get in contact? Yes, just
contact me. You can actually reach out to me on Instagram at Q gets _fit. Right. And just send me a DM. I also have the links and everything in my bio as well. You can go directly to my website. You can sign up there, but I can be your accountability partner. We can definitely advocate. Like literally, I fly all over the world. We just went to Florida. We just actually opened up in Jamaica. I went to Jamaica. Wow. You're doing all of these traveling trips and, open up your LLC, start your own business. It only starts with this. What do you want to do? How do you want to show up for yourself? And I met some phenomenal women. And again, like I said, it's collaboration over competition, like with them, like the personal development, the encouragement and everything that you get from everyone is just it's amazing. So definitely DM me if you can relate to my story. Send me a DM. If you need inspiration, send me a DM. I'm always available to talk, if I'm available, if time allows. But definitely I reply back to emails, texts. If you do want to make sure, because sometimes shoot an extra $250, $500 a week, that's a life changer for some people,
Right.
and I can show you how to do it. So
Wow. And that's definitely dope right there. And that's definitely needed right there. So definitely if you're interested, definitely hit her up on Instagram. This the link right here. QGets_fit. Hit her up if you're definitely interested in that. If you want to get the products or if you're interested in making some extra income, definitely tap in for that right there. Definitely a good move right there. And again, I'm excited about what you're doing because not only, like you said, did you transform and you're feeling better about yourself, you're helping other people change. You're giving people opportunities to make money and start their businesses. You said a powerful thing. A lot of times people go to work, right? But they don't do anything for themselves. So with the shutdown, it's like, okay, the company shut down. It's like, what are you going to do now? So you came up with new streams. You came up with new ideas to get money and wealth and stuff like that. And it's like through your story. So even through that, when you were going through your weight loss for the 30 pounds, what was the hardest part for you?
the hardest part was really unraveling my story, really getting raw with myself. But with my weight loss, and that's the mental part. Right. The physical part is being consistent. Sometimes we want to lay in bed and we don't want to get up. Sometimes we don't want to show up. Right. Which is fine. We're human, and I encourage my clients and people that I talk to, have your moment, but don't let it become a season. Sometimes you want to disconnect from social media and stuff like that. People advertising fake right. lifestyles or whatever the case may be. You need to disconnect. That's fine, but you gotta be consistent. If I could take this one pack and lose 50 pounds, everybody and their mother would be lined up for this one pack. But it's consistency is key. I've been putting in the work, and once you plant them seeds, then it'll grow. Right. So that's one of the hardest parts is showing up when you don't want to. Showing up.
So let's talk
but
about
have that accountability partner.
You
gotta have an accountability partner.
You gotta have an accountability partner. Let's talk about the mental health journey, right? Because that's wellness as well. So let's talk about the importance of that. And like in the hard times, how did you get through?
The hard times, again, some people, me, is praying, meditating, self-reflecting, being grateful. One thing people don't do is they'll always compare and want more. Because sometimes I have to check myself. Right. I want this. Everyone else, they already had their home by now. They're already married at that age. Right. Everybody didn't go through my same story. I can't compare my chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 50. And that's even in business too. You can't do it because that's what people will do. You don't know what this person has been through. And sometimes you don't know what this person is going through to maintain this. So I don't compare myself to others. I make sure I have to check myself sometimes, because sometimes I'm hard on myself because ambitious. So I always want more. I never just settle for just one thing. I always want everything. And because I don't have kids, I can move. I can move, I can get up, I can go, I can do this, I can do that. But sometimes calm down. Sometimes you got to take a moment, right. And just self-reflect and be grateful for what you do have. Be grateful for your journey, and again, use your pain, turn your pain into purpose. It's quoted by Oprah Winfrey. I don't want to take nobody quotes, but that's what she said. And that's what I'm doing. Using my pain for purpose and trying to inspire and uplift.
And you're definitely doing a wonderful job at that. You're definitely doing it well. And that smile is genuine. It's like you can tell you're authentically happy. It's like,
thank you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing right there. So let me ask, how did you get into candle making? Like, because it sounds like, okay, that sounds like it's hard to do.
Yeah, because I put passion in the mind. I say a positive affirmation over all the candles and stuff that I make, and who don't want to, when you look good and when you smell good, that helps you feel your best self too. And, that's what I did. I don't know, just something again, really, I was like, what can I do? Like, I need extra income. And people want to post on social media just to post and this and that. Why not post a profit? You share somebody else's stuff, like McDonald's, or you go to a nice restaurant, you want to, I went here, I had this, I had that. Why not share your own? Why not create your own stuff? And me, I love candles. So let me post for purpose. Let me post with some monetary, some coinage. Sorry, but really these candles, they're very special to me. Again, like I said, it's called Love Story. Everyone has their own love story, no matter what it is. So I make the labels, myself. I can actually customize. I have wholesale opportunities, or like if you have like a wedding and you want nice little wedding gifts, or birthday gifts, or whatever the case may be, I can customize it. I have someone who they have a wedding coming up, and then they want their name and wedding date and stuff on it. So it's very special to me, and you have to be conscious. Like, we're supporting all of these big companies. Let's come up with support our own. This is called Gold Digger. I don't know if you can see the color.
It looks yellow and white, like orange and white.
Can you see? It's like gold. It's like gold. You probably can't see, but the name of this one is Gold Digger. Oh yeah, it's not focusing, but yes. But all of them have a nice little story to them. Like, this is called Little Black Dress.
Oh wow,
it's nice, sexy. Right. Like, you want to be sexy, put that little black dress on, get you in that mode.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask you. Where do you get your inspiration from for them?
Yeah,
like,
I just whatever I'm feeling. Like, really, like the scent, the color, everything is very strategic. Everything is very strategic. Like, again, this is called Little Black Dress. I have this one. This is called Hugs and Kisses. So the color is like nice, a nice airy. This is called, for my seductress, this is called Pink Pussy. This smells really, really nice.
Right.
Hope I can say that word on
here. You're good. You're good to go. You're good.
but everything has its own, little thing. Like, this is called Clean Sheets. This is like an odor blocker for somebody who maybe do smoke cigarettes or whatever the case may be, or odors. Clean Sheets, how it is. You just do your linen and you put them clean sheets on the bed. Wow. So everything invokes some type of feeling with my stuff. Everything. This is called Saturday morning cartoons. Right. So it puts you in the mind of that. But it took some time. I actually have, if you check out my Instagram page, I kind of have like I think it's a reel I put up on how I make the candles. You can kind of see it a little bit if you're interested in, in learning about that. Yeah, and that's my next thing. I am going to have candle making classes. So make sure you sign up for that. Yes.
Okay. Wow. So the thing is, right, you said you're getting into soaps as well, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Right. I want to talk about that real quick, because I got to ask you, I'm in a group. I'm pretty sure in the clips you've seen in the beginning, I'm in a rap group. We just did a web series, right, called The Soap King.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, so people, they hear the name, they're like, yo, what is it about? But it's actually, he wrote a script because it's the same thing. Pandemic hit. True story. Pandemic hit. And it's like, he wanted to come up with new ways to make money. So it's like, yo, around the time when the pandemic hit, everybody, the bleach, certain things in the store, you couldn't find them nowhere.
That's true.
Soap was one of them.
That's true.
So when he's like, yo, boom. So he never tells us, he never say nothing else. He just starts doing the research. He winds up really getting into soap.
Yes, so, amazing.
Right. So he writes the web series about it, because he's also a videographer. So he makes the web series. So the web series is about soap. It's about a Black man who starts a soap business.
Oh wow. And it's him. And I needed his information, because we're looking for a video. Because again, I told you we go different places and stuff like that. So we are looking for a videographer. So I'm happy you let me know that information. So I'll definitely be getting that information from you.
I'll definitely pass it over. I'll give it to you after the show. Put it in.
But sorry. Let me get back on subject. But that's amazing. That's amazing. I definitely, and then one time, because I go to a lot of Black pop-up events too. And I brought soap, and the soap that they make your skin skin feels just so soft.
Right.
And I'm like, shoot, why not? Like, to me, it's enough out here for us all. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has a different thing. Like, people be intimidated because somebody else doing what they do. Like, nah, it's somebody, come on. I still get stuff. Like, definitely, even though I told you to come to me, but Lords of Lulu, she's another candle maker. And I actually, before I started making candles, I did my research. Like, her website looks amazing. And I actually was able to do a pop-up with her. And I went to her and let her know, you inspired me. Like, I sent you a DM. It's because of you I'm doing this. So I definitely shoot people out. And, I definitely like to try different products. Like, to me, you're inspiring me. I want to do what you're doing. Let me know what you did. Let's work together. So that's amazing. I'm so happy that he did start that, and then he did it by surprise because nobody knew. So that was
None
cool.
of us knew. Yeah, even back then, when he first came and he started it, we thought it was a joke because it's like a black. You don't see many black people in the soap. And that's what I was about to say with the candle.
You don't see that. You don't see that. I see a lot of candles. And then that's one person who came to me was like, oh, your stuff is so nice. And she was making candles and stuff. Right. So, we was talking and people come like that's how I am. Like, let's empower each other. Let's take, let's take over. Let's inspire each other. So that's awesome. That's amazing. But soap, yes, because it is a process. You gotta let it cure for weeks and weeks and stuff. So you put a lot of love into it. And again, anything with love story, I'm on it. So yeah,
that's definitely dope right there. And then you travel around. So what's some of the favorite places you've been as far as?
Well, I mean, about with this taking me with the health and wellness. Again, Jamaica is where I went. That was my first time to Jamaica. Yes, we rode out in Jamaica. So like our Jamaican brothers and sisters, they actually can open up their own franchise with Tava as well. We actually rode out in Canada too. Wow. So, and we're going to expand too. We have an event. I'll be in Houston next month, actually the end of this month, like, oh Lord. Wow. But we're going to Houston. It's actually our 2-year anniversary. So, we have a huge event. We're going to find out as a company what new products that we're going to introduce. So I'm excited about that. But this has definitely helped me out with additional income to, like they say, you want to have 7 streams of income. So, I'm definitely trying whatever I can, but this definitely because it worked for me. So I'm not going to advocate or put nothing out there that I didn't try myself. A lot of people scared of the network marketing industry, but it's like a $7 trillion industry. So it's not saturated at all. I don't know if you heard of Stormy Wellington, but she's, come on, coinage. And this is just by getting healthy. Like, why not? Especially with the pandemic that just happened. Like, you want to get healthy, mentally and physically. And I have legit before and after pictures of what I did. So definitely tap in. I got a special. I'll give you a special code. So anybody who look at this and they say that code, I'll make sure you get an amazing price. Or maybe I'll say if you buy the tea, I'll give you maybe like a 4-ounce candle free or something. I don't know. Wow. I'll come up with something.
That'd be dope right there. That's definitely dope right there. And I'm definitely excited, That's the thing. Entrepreneur, you're taking the world by storm. And it's like, life happens. They try to shut you down. And you said, that's fine, because you had the government job. So now it's like, okay, if the pandemic hits, they shut down. So it's like you start your own opportunity, right? And it's like now you're networking and you're building and you're growing with the company on this side, but then you still got the candle company and stuff like that. So it's like it's only up from here. You can't hear me? All right. Just go out and come right back in. Go out and come back in. All right. I should be right back. Again, this is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. And I'm excited about today's show. Q gets _fit, wellness, getting your mind in order, healthy lifestyle, healthy thinking, entrepreneurship, And again, definitely check out the candle company, Love Story Candles. You can follow her on Instagram. Definitely tap in. I'm gonna put the link for her link tree in the comments. And again, we definitely excited about it. Definitely excited. Here we go. And she's back. Can you hear me now?
Yes. I don't know what happened, but I don't know who's working against this, but You
It's all,
know,
it's all
we
good.
back.
We're just giving them a recap. So again, like I was saying, when the shutdown came, it's like it tried to block people out. Where a lot of people they wind up finding themselves in a hard spot. You took that situation and turned it around to a business. Not only are you doing that, you definitely have the products over here with the Tava, but then you're doing the candles and things like that. So you're running two businesses and your branding and stuff like that. So when it comes to marketing and branding yourself, like how did you learn? Like, is this something that you picked up along the way, or as you learning as you're going? Did you have a mentor? How did you get into the branding and marketing to be able
It's
to do
just
this?
research, just doing my doing my research. Is so many dope creators out there who actually give you, different. Ashley Ann, she's one of them that I look to. Like, it's so many dope creators out there who give you the blueprint, and sometimes you got to invest in yourself. People don't want to spend that coin, but sometimes dropping $20, you'll spend that eating out all the time.
Right.
That's support. Again, I'm all about supporting each other's, supporting our creators and things of that nature. They'll give you the blueprint. Sometimes you got to study people too. Follow people for purpose. Yeah, you want to post what you're doing and you went to the club last night and things of that nature. But we are now at a point where social media, like, that's how we communicate. Again, like I said, why not monetize, off of that? Like, that's what we're going to. Like, people really don't go to stores like that. Who really go to the mall like that? What
Right.
you doing at your fingertips? Let me go to Amazon. Let me order this.
Right.
Let me go here. Let me order that. So just me, and it's a learning curve. Like, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Like, I just, I've only been doing this for the last couple of years or so. But again, it's a steady thing. And again, just knowing I can't compare, my chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 50. Because sometimes it's intimidating because you see all these people, oh, this, and they got all these followers and they got this, they got that. Don't worry about that. Just go ahead and plant your seeds and just keep moving, keep moving. So that's what I do pretty much. Just do my own research, try to support each other as well. Just keep it moving.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you're doing it well, and I know it's just going to get bigger from here. So let me ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? 5 years from now, where do you
Five
see
years
yourself?
from now, I see myself with a storefront. That's what I see myself. I
Right.
see myself with a storefront, having my products. I see myself, having a lot of kids coming there, working how they can start their own business. Again, like I said, I did want to branch off on having like a candle making class,
Right.
like they do the paint, glass painting and, painting something like that.
Right.
See that, like, kind of do that and maybe share the word, share my story. Again, I'm a wellness coach. So, maybe I'll have, something with wellness with that too, have some type of groups because people don't do that anymore. Sometimes you want to have people you can relate to. So, I might have a nice little branch off with that, maybe start a nonprofit into something with mental health, or counseling, or something like that. But definitely I'm moving forward as I grow. I'm definitely going to expand.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited about it because you're going to the top. You're going to the top. So let me ask you, because you got a story and you got a book in you. Do you think one day down
I
the road?
know. Yes, definitely. I say that all the time. Excuse me, D'Angela. I say that all the time. Definitely, that's in the making. Because I'm like, with all this stuff that went on in my life, it's definitely a book. I don't know if I'm gonna be a ghostwriter. I don't know if I'm gonna be the face of it yet. I might. If I keep doing these podcasts, if you invite me on your show again,
Oh yeah, you
then
yeah.
maybe.
Oh yeah,
But
you always
definitely
welcome.
that's in the making. That's definitely something I definitely considered. And I used to write all the time. Like, again, I told you I was quiet. I
Right.
wrote poetry. I wrote
Wow.
poetry. I wrote stories. I was in like the Glee Club. I could have sworn I was gonna be an actor or something. But
Wow.
yeah, that was me. That's why I said about everything. Love everything poetry. I love going to hear the spoken words. I love hearing people express themselves. But I never got the courage to really get up and like share my stuff. You get what I'm saying?
So you never you,
So
you never spoke. You never said none of your poetry.
not out loud. Like, I always write it down, let people read me, like, oh, this is so great, this and that.
Right.
Or like with my mom, I used to always give her my poetry. Like, she, used to be in tears, just read my, because that's how I express myself. Again, like I told you, like with her, when I wrote that letter, again, I'm writing it. Like, I'm a good writer, but to be on the other side, talking really, expressing myself, because again, I was so quiet.
Right.
So, a book is definitely in the right, because again, I love to write. I loved writing. I love poetry. I need to get back into my poetry and expressing myself in that type of way. But that would be something. If you ever saw me up there on one of them spoken word, you'd be like, okay, yeah, Q, she really involved now. She on the
Right.
stage.
So she done stepped out. That's what I was gonna say.
Right,
The
right.
next time you come back, do one.
Huh?
Let's have you do one the next time you come back. Let's do a spoken word the next time you come.
Okay. All right. That's pushing me out of my comfort zone. And anything if you uncomfortable, then you know you're growing. If you comfortable, then you're not. So I'm
That's real.
with it.
That's real right there. And we do a trauma series up here, and then we're gonna have some
Oh.
panels down the road. And when we talk
Oh.
about the trauma series, it's pretty much it deals with like mental health, anxiety, depression, and even
I
like
definitely need
trauma,
to be there.
childhood traumas. So yeah, we might. I definitely might be reaching back out to you on that to have you on the panel for that one.
Oh, I would love to. Again, I want to share my story. I want to let everyone know. So, and I'm sure it's things, that's going to come to me that I really didn't, because I didn't even take, normally I'm so planned out. I'll have a bullet point here. I'm just letting it flow. So you're getting me raw, unfiltered, not playing. I'm just, being transparent with you. So I would definitely love that, because I'm sure, especially you have other people, that we can bounce and talk and relate to. Like I just love that energy. Like again, all positive. Like I feel a love here. So I'm with it. So definitely, it would be a pleasure if you invited me again.
Oh, definitely. We definitely put it together and put that together. And then again on the channel, if you ever get a chance, there's a separate playlist. It's called the Trauma Series. You'll see
Okay.
some of the previous shows if you just want to skim through to see how it flows.
Definitely will. No, definitely will. Again, I'm up for personal development. So hearing someone else's stories, I always research. I'm always listening. Why wouldn't I? So I'm definitely, even when I'm walking, I'll exercise. I'm putting miles in. Like that's something I could do. So I'm definitely going to check. It's not if, it's when. So I'm definitely going to check it out.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And again, if it's something that we might have missed that the people need to know, let's touch on that real quick. And then I got a few questions that I normally ask, and then we'll be up out of here.
Okay. Well, I think we pretty much summed up everything. I tried to be as raw and transparent as possible. Again, if anybody can relate to my story, whether losing someone close to them, whether it's for street violence or, just a family member or just, depression, anxiety, like I've definitely been there. I've overcome that. I've did the work. And again, if you need, again, and we can definitely, can you see me?
I can see. Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, my alarm is going off, so it's kind of interrupting it, but my bad.
You get.
But if anybody want to reach out to me, just reach out to me, and I'm definitely more than happy to be your wellness coach, your positivity advocate. And let's just do the work. Let's just do the work.
Let's do the work. Yeah, and that's real right there. That's definitely
And
real
I
right.
can't hear you. I know you said you can hear me, but
You can hear me?
I can't hear you.
All right, just go back out and come back in. I'm gonna do it. Just go out and come back in.
Okay, got you.
All right. Again, and we just talking. We're wrapping up right now. We got Q Gets Fit on the show, wellness coach, and right now we're just talking about thinking better, positive thinking, positive living, healthy living, how the mental health affects your body. Not only is it physical, it affects your mind. So it's like, when you want to get in shape or you want to get healthy, it's not just the body. You also want to get your mental right. So we're talking about self-care, self-love. She's a self-love advocate. Again, so definitely tap in. Definitely be sure to hit on social media and stuff like that, because it's definitely needed. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about wellness, living healthy, thinking right. And at the same time, she's a business owner, multiple business owner. So transformation is like, whereas like they may tell you you can't. You have the ultimate choice to turn that situation around, where it's like overcoming all odds. So she's definitely a positive woman, opening doors. So I'm definitely excited about that. So again, okay, let me ask you, looking on your life, right? Let's think about 3 of your favorite moments. 3 moments that stand out the most to you.
3 moments that stands out the most to me is based on everything that we talked about is again my great grandmother being my voice, my great grandmother being my savior, and really having someone to look back to, like, okay, this person really cared about me, so that's definitely a pivotal moment. Again, me getting my degree, like that was a challenge because, and I'm the first one in my family to accomplish that.
Wow. Congratulations.
So, that's definitely a big one. Home ownership is next, is definitely in the making.
Right.
But and again, for generational, I'm trying to break all of these generational curses. And third one is again on my personal development, and it's more than about tea with the Tava business that I told you about. Again,
Right.
the positivity, like they definitely helped me with my personal development. Having sisters, and brothers around you who's really there to uplift you,
Right.
no matter what. That's definitely something that's very important to me, and I'm definitely grateful that I came across that opportunity. So
That's powerful right there. We all
yeah.
need that positive support around us in life, period. We need that, especially when we're trying to come out of a situation. So for the women that might be watching, right, they may not be in the best comfortable situation. They may be in a hard spot. What advice do you have for them?
Yes, just that you're not alone. You're not alone. I don't care. Like, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Because again, I've been there when I felt like I was alone.
Right.
I've been there when I felt unworthy. Because again, you have your father left you, your mother's on drugs, this and that. I don't have like a huge, gigantic family.
Right.
So I've been there, when I felt like I didn't have anybody to turn to. But actually, someone was there. So I want to be that and let them know that this is just a chapter in your life. It's not the end of your story. Again, tied in a love story. It's not the end of your story. It's a chapter that you're going through. But literally, let's channel that. Let's get raw. Let's get raw and real, and let's just move forward. Let's talk about it, because people don't talk about things, and that's what it is. People hold it all in. So let's let it out.
Let's let it out. And that's real right there. All right. So for the young men out there, right, we got violence all around, right? We got, like we were talking about earlier, we got police killing black men. We got black men killing black men. To your brothers out there, what advice or what words do you got for the black men?
Yes, it's a different life. I do know that you see, this is what you see, and I know as a woman, you say, you can't relate to that, but it's other avenues. You can want more.
Right.
You can want for yourself. It's more to life than what you see. Just let me help you, or let us help you. It could be a guy mentor. It doesn't have to be, me specifically.
Right.
But a lot of our men, they don't have anyone to turn to, or the people that they turn to, their thinking is distorted too. So when you have someone with distorted thinking teaching someone else, it's hard to break that pattern. However, you do have resources out there for you who can actually help you become a better you. You're a man, you're a provider, I want to build up your self-esteem. Sometimes it comes with self-esteem, and me macho, we want to prove, we wanted this, we wanted that. It's definitely a different way to life out there than the one in the streets. You deserve more. You're worthy of more. And let's give you the resources. Let me connect you with the resources needed to change your life.
Wow. That's powerful
Yeah.
right there. The resources. A lot of times, like without the resources, it sounds good. It's like if I don't have the means to do it, you just said a powerful thing, giving them the resources that they're gonna need to make a
Yeah,
change.
especially when you're dealing with, people with, like background, criminal justice background, because we already know it's an imbalance there.
Right.
And so, I kind of work in that particular field, so I'm definitely, and I have a brother who's, actually in the criminal justice system as well. So I'm on both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
So it's personal to me. Like I told you, things like this is personal to me. So definitely reach out if you know anyone struggling, or need resources, or what type of resources. Maybe I can connect the dots to put you there. But again, we do have other ways than violence. Like, let's not leave kids fatherless, and motherless. Let's not do that, because I again, me.
Right.
So it's these kids grow up and stuff. So we expect more. I know it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. I know it's a lot, but let me be your peace. Let me help you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if somebody had to define you, right, in a sentence or a paragraph, right, they had to define who you were, your character. What would they say?
That's a good. What would they say? I mean, I've had people say, "Oh, she just has a amazing spirit about her." I just want to be a uplifting person because, again, I've been held down, and I know what I felt like I've been held down because of all of these obstacles and because of the childhood trauma. So I want to be, someone else's peace. I want to be, someone else's encouragement. I want to be that lifeline, like my great grandmother was to me. So she was always positive. She was always uplifting. She was always trying to help. So that's what I want. That's the energy I want to give off to the world. That's what I want people to remember me by.
Wow, and that's real right
Yeah.
there. So let me ask you, how do you define happiness? What's happiness to you?
Happiness to me, is just about self-love.
Self love.
Self-love, not pouring from an empty cup. Happiness to me is, whatever I can do for myself, to make me actually available to other people. Because for a long time, I was given from an empty cup. I'll put your needs in front of mine.
Right.
But, sometimes when you have to step up, put yourself first and show up for yourself, and know that you are worthy and know that, let's experience life. When I put self-love is happiness to me, just put myself first and, just taking care of my well-being, my mental health, taking care of my, physical health, my physical being, caring about others. That's happiness to me, like positive energy. Like I don't know, negativity, it kind of drains me.
Right.
So just
Wow.
staying in the alarm. I could have sworn I turned this alarm off, but
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Can you still hear me?
I can't hear you again. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
All right, it's all good. Yo, just go out again and come back. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I'm
all
gonna
good.
make sure. I'm gonna make sure all my alarms are off.
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
All right. Again, yo, it's the proof. We live in the building. It's what happens right now. You know what I mean? When notifications come in, sometimes it may knock the sound out. But again, I want to salute everybody for tuning in today. I'm excited about today's show. DC business owner, life coach, wellness coach, definitely doing big things in the industry, candle maker. She's got the network marketing for those that's interested in making extra income. Be sure to check her out. Be sure to support her. Hit her up. Let's go through her. Let me pull up the joints. You can follow her on the main social media on Instagram at Q gets underscore fit. That's Instagram Q underscore gets fit. You can check out the website at lovestorywellness.com. Is the website lovestorywellness.com. Then again, for the candles, you can follow at Love Story Candle. Again, and I'm excited definitely about you being up here. And at this point right here, it's like, okay, we were talking about reflecting back on the things that, stood out the most. Some things, even for words for the brothers that's out here. We encourage the sisters. So let me ask, okay, over the years, right? Your whole story. What's one of the most beneficial, most powerful lessons that you learned throughout your life?
Again, I know it sounds cliche, but it's the self-love. Like a long time I struggled with that. Even when I didn't know that I struggled with that, I did struggle with that. I stayed in a relationship, longer than what I should have, somebody who didn't treat me right. Again, I always put other people, they'll ask me for this and that. I always give, I guess more so I had that people pleasing syndrome,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Wow.
You
I
know,
definitely understand. I definitely
yeah,
understand.
that's definitely one thing that I struggled with for a long time. So now to be on the other side and to really identify that, okay, I was struggling with this. Like I let people take advantage of me. Like I was still friends with people who I know took advantage. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. Like just super nice. I don't know what. Again, it's the people pleasing.
Right.
But it's be kind. Like the Lord say, be kind, but don't be a fool.
Don't be a fool. You got to draw a line. The boundaries is the key word. Having those boundaries.
Yes, yes.
Setting
So
those boundaries.
yeah, so being on the other side of that was definitely pivotal, and I definitely had to learn, the hard way. But again, like I said, it's my story, and it is what it is. I can't change it, You know, you just got to move forward and you know, and learn the lesson, because it's like when you get one lesson and you don't pay attention to it, the Lord will give you another lesson, or you'll get another lesson.
You're gonna do it
You
again.
know,
You gotta
so
take
you
the
don't want
test
to keep
again.
repeating that.
Right. Yeah, that's real right there. So we're talking about the love story. So before the happily ever after, right? Let's backtrack before that. On that sentence right there, where it normally says, and such and such lives happily ever after. If you had to write it in, what's gonna be right there before that lives happily ever
Before,
after?
so I'm sorry. So you said before that,
Right.
before the okay, before the living. Okay, so explain so I can understand.
You know how they may say, well, and it's her and the prince lived happily ever after. Her and the family lived happily ever after. So
Oh
you had
wow.
to write your story, right? This is down the road. So you're writing it from then, looking back. How's your story end before the happily ever after?
Oh, before the happily ever after.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to answer it. I guess maybe I'm not kind of like understanding that. I mean, right now it's just me, so I live
Right.
happily ever after. So I don't know, you
I mean,
know.
down the road, do you see marriage for yourself? Do you see a big
Yes,
family
I'm
down?
claiming it. I'm
Well,
claiming
write
that.
it in then. Write it in.
Oh, okay. You know, I see her with, you know, a nice, healthy, blended family.
Wow.
I see a blended family, you know, because again, I'm in my 30s now. So, you know, people I meet probably already had kids by now. So,
Right. But y'all gonna blend that
so a
thing and
nice
make it work.
blended family, huh?
Y'all gonna blend it together and make it work.
We gonna blend it together and make it work, you know, and create our own unit. I always say that, I do want to create my own unit, my own healthy unit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, so me and my blended family lived happily ever after. Is that what I should say?
That's it right there. Yeah, I like to have a little fun because we talk about a lot of real stuff and a lot of heavy situations. Laughter is medicine. It's like it's always good to laugh and smile. So I
Definitely.
always throw a little joke in there. But it's like we have the power of words
We
to create
do.
our outcome. So it's like, you know, I had one person on this show and it was a powerful conversation. And one thing that I took away from that, they said how people normally do a resolution every year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do resolutions. They do like an acceptance speech. So it's almost like when the year comes in, this is what I'm going to accomplish this year.
Oh, got you.
So going in is like with the mindset I'm already there. So it's like, you know, when they
Got
go
you.
into the new year, it's like I already see it. So they're speaking in
That's
past
true. That's
tense.
manifestation.
Right. And it's like, yo, that changed my way of thinking, like, wow, like, because we
That's
know the
true.
power of words, but it's like, you know, sometimes we might get off our job and we may speak idle words. We may, you know,
You
speak
have to
curses on
show
ourselves.
up.
We got to show
Because
up every
actually
time.
they had, I forgot what it's called, but they had I think was it in December? They had some type, I don't know, you believe in the way the moon position and this and that. You supposed to wrote a letter. You supposed to wrote a letter of like how you want to show it. I did do that, you know, so I'm
Right.
still waiting for my Prince Charming.
There
But
you
because
go.
that wasn't my letter, but you supposed to write the letter like you said, like they said, you know, like
Right.
how you see it. Like, you know, don't say what it is, talk as if it's already here. So I did do that, and I do believe in manifestation, and you know, I do believe in dating with intent. Like that was a thing that I had to do too, you know, instead of just dating a pastime. Like Q, you know, get serious about it, you know,
Right.
get serious about it. So definitely I'm working, so I'm happy you brought that up, you know, so I'm putting that out in the atmosphere
Right. Ain't
too.
nothing wrong with
So
that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, yo, for the guys out there, let's help them out, right? What's a good date? You know, that don't mean come over to my place. Let's play video
right,
games.
yes, court a
Let's,
woman. Like I don't know, guys don't be wanting to court people nowadays. I don't know what's going on, you know. Then when they meet me and it's like, you know, like yeah, Q. Like I had people get Q, she a good fit, but you know, I guess when you get the easiness, you run over here to the easy. Like that's a
right.
challenge. I don't want. But with me, back to the question, to me, a good date is just getting to know each other. Like you don't even have to spend money, because I understand, especially if you're a single guy, you know, you have to date people to get to know people. So
Right.
I'm not saying take them to no Roof Chris, you know, every time. Like to me, going to the park, you know, we can show up with a picnic basket, and you know, I like being outside the sun and you know, and stuff like that. Or if you in DC, you know, exploring stuff that we never explored down the mall, that's pretty scenery. You know, talking, getting to know each other. So you can show, especially for a first date. I mean, I wouldn't say spend all this money on a first date, you know, unless maybe it's somebody, you know, that you really invested in. But if it's somebody you trying to get to know, you know, just go somewhere where you can have silence, where you can really talk and really, you know, feel that person's energy.
Right. And that's real right there. So you being a female, let me ask you, have you ever had the guy, right, who spends the money, right? He's playing the part, but he's acting. He really don't have the money. It's like he's for the first couple times, then you realize he really ain't got no damn money. Has that ever happened?
We had that. I mean, I had a story. A coworker told me about this girl. And you know, nowadays people date online. Right. You know, I have done that too. I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't done an online thing over that, especially because I be busy. Sometimes working 2 jobs or going to school and you know, and this and that. But this didn't happen to me. But she told me about they went on a date and a guy, you know, picked this expensive restaurant, and she was like, the girl was like, you know, okay, this stuff kind of expensive. He like, yeah, order everything you want, you know, this and that, yeah, get that, get the steak, get this, get that. Then when the bill comes, talking about he left his card at home. I think he did it on purpose, because she was even like, you know, and then him encouraging. So she ended up, you know, because she okay, you know, well off or whatever, so she did pay for it. But I mean, if you don't have it, like, don't encourage, don't show up as you know, like I said, I'm gonna be my authentic self. Sometimes I want to dress up, sometimes I don't want to put on a facade, you know, like, oh, this, you know, this not really me. Like now, again, you know, once I've been through this self-love journey, and you know, I'm not doing that people pleasing, you getting the raw, you getting me, you know, you getting me. So please don't fake like you got money when you don't have money. You know, let's work together. I'm trying to build a partnership. You know, let's go conquer the world together. But don't do that.
Nah, that's just being honest, and that's real right there. That's the thing. Honesty always works. It's like it's the only thing that you don't have to keep putting on the act is who you are. Right. And it gives that person an honest choice to make a decision whether they want to work with it or they want to go on by.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's real.
I guess it's a lot of pressure for guys. Isn't it a lot of pressure for guys?
It's a lot of pressure for everybody because you got social media pumping in, you got the music, you got everything, you know, that's playing a part where people disconnect. Those are the ones that's real. It's like everybody else is they're in the matrix. So like if you dating in the matrix.
That's just like, I got this, you know, then I take this off and, you know, I don't got no hair under there. Like, I don't, you know, take me as I am. Like,
no, I feel you on that. But that's the thing. You know, being a female on social media is like, you know how it is, the pressure for a female just being on social media.
That's true. I mean, that's true. Again, like I said, that goes back to me. Stop comparing yourself. Right. You know, that'll mess with your mental health. That'll mess with your, you know, with yourself, your self-esteem, especially if you're not one within yourself. You know, just make sure you're with yourself. You're one within yourself. Like, it's serious out here. And that's what the guys like. Don't fake like you have. I don't know. Just be honest. Like, people always have their intent. That's what you have to find out what a person's intent is. Because it's like everybody's after something. So just make sure if you want to be married, you know, make sure you let a person know, you know, I'm not saying you go on a date and they like, yeah, with a ring at, but, you know, date with intent.
Do you think they should bring courting back?
You said what?
Do you think they should bring courting back?
Yes. People want to go straight to your house. Like, I ain't even meet you yet. What you want to come to my house for?
Wow. So that still works. That still wins.
Yes.
No, definitely. That'll never go out of style. That's like that 90s R&B.
I mean, a little bit, you know, go out. Like, people don't do phone calls no more. People want to text, but I am a texter. But I do want.
Right, I'm a texter too. I watch the phone ring and text you right back.
I'm like, dang, I'm calling myself out, but
right, yeah, I'm the same way. I watch the phone ring as soon as it stops. I text them, "What's going on?" What's up? It's like I'm just more. I'm
like that too. I'm like that too. So that's why I'm like, oh, I had to stop. Like, dang, okay. I mean, you know, because I do text.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. So definitely, you got the business and stuff out. You got the opportunities. You can let them know again real quick if they want to make extra income. Any shout outs, anything you want to do?
Yes, extra income. Come on. Like, if you want to make an extra $250, $500 a week, whatever your goal is, let me help you. You know, let me help you. Link up with me. Again, my Instagram is QGets_fits. send me a DM. I can definitely, link you in. I can send you some information. I can answer any questions that you may have. Yeah, let's make this money. Like, really. Again, this industry is a 7 point whatever trillion industry, and that was years ago when they came up with that number. So, it's definitely, if you want to get healthy, if you want to spread the word about health and wellness, posting on your social media, using your social media for profit, then holler at your girl. I'm here to help you in whatever type of goals that you have. Let me help you.
That's real right there. You're definitely doing it. And I salute you definitely for Black excellence
Thank
again. You
you.
got any shout outs? You want to shout anybody out before
I
we
just
go?
want to shout you out.
Oh man.
I want to shout you out for using your platform for good. Giving everybody a voice, little old me a voice. I really do appreciate it. It's so dope what you're doing. Keep doing, keep pushing. And again, I appreciate you having me on your platform. But I have a whole lot of Do Life Sisters. Just check out my Instagram. It tells it all. And again, we will be in Texas the last, what is it? I think September, like the last day of September to like October 1st or 2nd. So if anybody looking at this podcast will be in the Houston, Texas area, DM me so I can give you some information. Also, if you want free samples, I definitely have free samples available. I can definitely send you that too. If you want to try it before you buy it, I stand by my products, so I don't mind. Definitely get at me.
And they can get the products on it. They can hit you on the social media, or they can get it on your website as well.
Yeah, they can go to my website. I think I have a link for free samples there. Again, if you DM me and mention the podcast, I'll definitely come up with some type of nice offer for you.
Okay. Dope. And what I do is I put your links in the comments on YouTube and then Facebook for
Okay.
those that. So if they watch it later, they'll see it. But you might just have a cutoff. Like after the night, they'll hit you by tomorrow. Like, all right, they may hit you a month from now. Say, I seen you on the
right. I saw. Right, with my free candle. Where my free candle at?
Yeah, so we'll put a cutoff. We'll put a cutoff on it. I'll let you figure it out, like at a certain time, right before that.
So if you buy at least a 10-day supply of this tea, I'll definitely send you a sample, either wax melts or a small candle.
Yeah, and that works
from me to you and your audience.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, we look forward to having you come back because I know you're gonna keep doing big things.
Please. I can't wait. Yes.
All right. Again, we want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight to The Proof. Definitely excited about today's show. A lot of powerful information. I'm definitely excited about Black excellence. I'm definitely excited anytime I see a Black woman doing positive things and being successful and feeling good about herself. That's the most important thing. And she said one time she didn't always feel good. To see her smile now, to see her enjoying life, traveling, living her best life. That's a beautiful thing. So again, we salute you. Q gets _fit on Instagram. Be sure to check her out. LoveStoryWellness.com is the website. And then Love Story Candles on Instagram as well. All the links are in her bio. And again, we thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Proof Podcast. And like always, we love y'all. Everybody be safe this week. Stay positive, and we'll see y'all next time. We love y'all. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right now.